Hi, I'm Ankit from Pixelio, and I want to talk about foundations of digital marketing and the importance of digital marketing strategy for your small business. A lot of things in the digital sphere are different, and your traditional customers' viewpoint or journey or how they find about products or services might be completely different. Uh, and I just want to walk you through how a typical person might be looking for a solution to their problem, and that's how they find a business that they can a business product or services to solve the problem, online especially. So let's say we have John. John really likes sneakers. He wants to buy the newest version of Yeezy, Adidas Yeezy, written over here, and so he's a big fan of Adidas. But you know, today's kids, they're mostly online. They're not outside. And this is not stereotyping, but just giving an example, right? This is our persona. That's why. So John might have limited friends to give him recommendations about shoes, especially Adidas Yeezy, right? So what he does is he goes online. He tries to find information about Adidas Yeezys and if they're good or not. So what is his typical journey, right? His typical journey would consist of starting using his mobile phone or laptop or tablet and then searching in Google. He might search for Adidas Yeezy, Adidas shoes, and then he's gonna see a website. If there are reviews by other people, he's gonna see videos. If some of his friends have shared about the shoes, he's gonna see social media posts. If he's actually signed up to Adidas newsletter, he might be getting news emails as well. But that is just on the finding out about the product. We call that the awareness phase, right? But if John is really considering buying the product and wants to research more if it's a good shoe or not, how much does it cost, where can he buy them, then that is the consideration phase. And in this phase, John might actually type in Google saying Adidas shoes reviews, or he might say, is Adidas Yeezy shoes good or not, where can I find them, or first impressions, unboxing, so those are on the consideration phase. And if he reads all those information, and if John really likes the shoes and he feels like it's worth purchasing, it satisfies his needs or demands, then he's going to go on the website or directly go to adidas.com or some other retailers where he researched earlier in consideration phase and make the purchase. Okay, so that is a typical journey. They go to search, that's when the awareness takes place, and then the potential customer reads more about it, they're more into it. It's called consideration, where they try to find out more information, and if everything goes well, they like the product, service, everything else, then they purchase it. Okay, this is a visual example what happens, right? So if John goes to Google and search for Adidas Yeezys, he will see the ad by Adidas actually. Okay, so this is the actual thing. He clicks on it, it goes to a website. Otherwise, he might actually know about the shoe also by some sort of social media promotion, friends posting it, or even Adidas advertising. This is an example of Adidas actually advertising their special sale going on, the three stripes promotion. So this entices John to go to their website. He checks out more about the product, information. If he likes it, he can purchase it, or at least be interested, sign up for the product launch. Like in this case, the product's not launched, so there's a waitlist period going on. Otherwise, there's actually reviews online, which Adidas might have given access to some bloggers, or like early access, and they review the product, and John can again go back to the cycle of purchasing the product. Okay, so you as a business have different opportunities to put your business in front of John, in Google, in social media, in other ways, to put your brand, to increase your awareness, and how do you say, be in that customer journey before they make a purchase, so they're aware about your brand, they consider your brand, and they purchase product or services from your brand. Okay, so you as a business owner today, what options do you have? We just briefly talked about John's customer journey, but let me go more in detail about what exact options you have right now to promote your business online. So there's four major things, and I'll give you an example of all of this in the coming slides. There's four major ways that you can promote your business online right now, consisting of two main strategies. They're either pull strategy or push strategy. Okay, so if you've heard of search engine optimization or search engine marketing, this side is called pull strategy. And pull strategy is basically customers are actually searching, people are searching for your products or services, and you're trying your best to make sure your brand or product and services is in front of the customer when they're searching for it. So this is pull, meaning you're pulling the customer towards your brand. Okay, yeah, again, in this case, customers are actually searching for your products and services, and the goal is to be found easily on Google or search engines. If you already don't know, so SEO is a strategy where you optimize the content for your website to be ranked higher in Google or search engines. Okay, search engine marketing is very similar, but you're actually paying in this case. So SEO is more of organic, meaning you do not pay to advertise per se, but SEM or Google Ads is basically you're paying per click. Okay, it's usually CPC, and I'll explain more going forward. Now on the other side, there's pull, the more of a like the social media strategy parts come in here, where it's like if your pull strategy was very intent based, where people were willing and ready to take action, push strategy is more interest based. That's where the Facebook and Instagram ads come in, the social media one, and this is where a lot of the influencer marketing nowadays is also popular coming in. So in this type of strategy, the customer is not actively searching. They might not be interested in your products or services, but sorry, they might not actually know about your product or services, but they might be interested. And then customers, again, yeah, so they might not be aware that you exist, but they might have interest in the product or services, you know. So let's find out more about each of these strategy in more detail. What is SEO, right? So search engine optimization basically is optimizing your content on your website to appear higher in search engines. You know, the top three, if you already don't know yet, the top three searches, the rankings in Google, like these three get around 90% of the clicks. Okay, so trying to put your website pages and trying to rank on the top three is one of the best ways to get people coming to your website and increasing awareness for your brand. So what is basically SEO? It's making your websites get found easily when customers are searching for specific relevant keywords. This again is not a paid in terms of direct advertising, it's more organic, and you see these do not say ads. So this is one of the most used pull strategy, pull digital marketing strategy. Okay, if you're a business doing SEO today, what are the things you can do to get your website in front of users when they're searching for your brands or similar products or services? Is first of all, build a SEO friendly website. What is a SEO friendly website? It's basically a website built in maybe most common CMS platform, content management platform. Maybe it might be in WordPress, where it is super user friendly and super friendly with Google, where there are SEO plugins that you can just put in values, and it gives signals to Google saying, hey, if someone's searching for this type of keywords, please show my website on this one. Okay, again, one of the most important thing today is also creating relevant and valuable content. If the content you create is really good, it's shareable, it's nice, it makes sense, and it's relatable, then people will click on it and go and visit it. And Google is very smart. They will see on average how many clicks you get, how much time users spends on your website, so they will rank your website accordingly and nice and highly. Okay, on-page optimization, meaning your title tags, your descriptions, your site has a good flow, and there's some sort of hierarchy, range, and flow going to the website, where you're not talking about different things, but it moves users from like different aspects that, or answers questions they want to find out about, you know. And also, if it's a transaction based website or even normal website nowadays, Google really is pushing towards making the website secure site, meaning having HTTPS instead of a non-HTTPS, you know. And then if you have a decent hosting, the website will load very fast. If you're on a shared hosting, the website is not going to load very fast, and Google nowadays emphasizes on making and showing websites that are very fast. So some of these ways are how you can make your website appear higher on the search results. Also, one of the most important thing for local SEO, we say it, is make sure your name, your address, and phone numbers are consistent throughout different directories where your business might be listed, or in or if your brand name is one in Google in your website but different in Facebook, Google thinks these are completely two different entities. So make sure your name, address, phone number are consistent throughout all the channels. Okay, so that's some of the things you can do right now and today if you have a website to increase your rankings and be better in SEO. The next thing is search engine marketing. Almost everyone knows this as Google Ads or PPC ads. It's basically paid advertisement on Google, and it's mostly text-based. It's not usually visual in terms of display. It's mostly text because these are search ads. But you get a lot of options. You can target by locations. You can target by different behaviors, their age, their demographics. So there's a lot of control variables. In this type of advertising or in this type of strategy, you can immediately be on top of the results because you're actually paying money. You see, these are paid results over here for Yeezy. When I search for Adidas Yeezy, and this is actually the SEO results. So you're basically paying Google to put your business on the top, and you only get charged when people click on it. Okay, so like over here, it is a pay-per-click. You're spending, depends on the number of clicks, how many people are searching, and then these are online real-time bidding system. It's not like you have you're gonna pay $5 every time or something like that. No, it's a competitive bidding, online bidding. So it depends on how many other competitors you have. If you don't have any, then there might be minimal charge for cost per click. If you have a lot of competitors, then the cost per click goes higher because other people are also bidding money on that keyword. Okay, so that is what search engine marketing is. Now, how do you make it better? If you're already running a SEM campaign, these are a few basic things you can do to increase your conversions, most probably, or get more visitors in the website. First of all, you should really dig deeper into researching keywords relevant to your business. Like whatever keywords you're putting over here in searching in terms of your Google Ads console, are those keywords relevant or not? And then you see what Adidas does is they take a lot of real estate over here because they have put a lot of information, and their headline is very attractive. They do the location extension over here. They also talk about the products actually. So when you click over here, you're for sure gonna land up on a page about Yeezy. A lot of businesses just put random keywords, and the link over here is not related to the keyword or the business type or the product or services at all. So make sure what keyword you're targeting is structured really well in your advertising campaign, where the campaign like ad group and keywords are structured well, and people who see these ads, they find it relevant. Otherwise they will not click. And if a lot of people see the ad and they don't click the ad, then your quality score goes down. So yeah, to increase CTR, make sure your ad headline and descriptions are very relevant. Also, a lot of businesses, they will do Google AdWords PPC campaign, but it's always going to their homepage. It shouldn't be like that. It's like a waste of money because a lot of people, when they click on something, they expect to see that information. If they do not see that relevant information, they'll bounce out. So if this ad is about Yeezy and I click on it, I expect to see something about the shoe, learn more about the shoe, or even purchase it. But if I were just to go to Adidas homepage, it's extra work for me as a user to go and search again in their website for the shoes, right? So it's extra work, more work, and people are really busy nowadays. They don't have a lot of time to go around and search and click. So that's why they expect immediate results and answer. So make sure if you're doing an advertising campaign, you have relevant landing pages for specific products or services so that people get exactly what they're looking for. And one of the other most common issues we've seen while helping companies with Google PPC campaign is they do not use negative keywords. Sometimes people might be searching for irrelevant keywords, and the ads actually show up and click on it, but that's just business losing money for no reason. So if each month you go look at your campaign and you look at keywords that are not relevant, then make sure you add them to the negative keyword list. Yeah. All right, moving ahead. Now we're going to talk about social media advertising. This is a push advertising again. It's not a pull. Push meaning brands, content creators, your businesses might be pushing these advertisements to people who are not actively looking but might be interested. Okay, so if I'm a big fan of Adidas and I'm a sneaker head, that means whatever Adidas puts in front of me, I might be very interested. And Adidas knows this because I might say in my Facebook interest, I'm interested in shoes, I'm interested in Adidas, the brand, or Nike as a brand, so they will show these ads. In Facebook, you have the option to show ads by interest. So very recently, Adidas has launched the 3 Stripes Day campaign. I'm in Thailand, so this is the campaign in Thailand, and it was buy one get 33% off, buy 3 get 50% off, right? So this was a great campaign to increase awareness uh, to all the people who loves the brand Adidas or shoes, and they might be looking for um, getting something new. So this was a very, very successful campaign to raise awareness, and it was working well. It worked well with their audience because it was interest based. We were very interested in the brand, so it was a great way to increase awareness. Okay, so in social media, the beauty of it is, like, if Google was very search intent based and text based, this is more visual. You can be more visual in terms of showing your potential customers what the product promotion might be about. So it resonates differently, and it might really help your purchaser to understand what the ad is about, right? So in this case, it was about the sale. There's another ad, it was about special promotion in marketplace, online marketplace called Lazada, and it was up to 60% off worldwide, sorry, store wide, right? So again, these are in social media, you could actually do paid or organic. Both of these are paid, actually. And there you say that these are sponsored, but you could also do organic. As you know, organic in Facebook, the reach has decreased significantly because Facebook has become more of a pay to play platform, and or even if you have a lot of fans, it doesn't work nowadays because maybe hardly less than 1% of your Facebook fans will see the post you are creating. Okay, so the ads, however, is a very easy and good way to reach out to potential buyers of your products or services. So social media advertising can be done, again, based on users' interest, the most important, and then the other factors like location, demographics, behavior is also possible, just like Google. And compared to Google's PPC, search engine marketing PPC campaigns, where you are charged on click, this type of campaign in social media, you're actually charged for impressions. So when someone sees it, there's a term in marketing we call CPM, cost per 1,000 impressions. So you're charged based on impressions, or depending on what type of campaign you're running. But almost all the campaigns nowadays for Facebook and Instagram is based on impressions. Um, okay, if you have a social media advertising campaign running right now, here are some of the things you could do right now to maybe optimize your campaigns, or just to double check if they're doing fine or not, right? We deal with a lot of advertising in social media as well, and one of the biggest mistakes we see is you're going very wide on the audience. You're targeting the right audience, but it's broad. It's very broad, as in you're targeting. If your advertising campaign is for, let's say, a month, and your budget is around, I don't know, $1,000, $2,000, and you can only reach, let's say, 500,000 people with that budget, but a lot of people will put interest where it's 2 million, 3 million number of people interest, a monthly active user. So what we suggest is always try to narrow down on the audience and make sure you're targeting the right audience, because that cuts a lot of impressions, unwanted impression, meaning people who are not interested in your products or services will not see those. So make sure your audience research is done really well. It saves you a lot of money and time eventually, and your ads score and relevancy increases, meaning you will also end up paying less CPM in the long term. Okay, and then make sure your ad creative is attractive. Take some time, spend some time to make sure the ad creative is good. Like, these are very eye-catchy images over here by Adidas. They've spent resources and time on making it look good and being on brand. Okay, so it's a head turner. Everyone will stop scrolling on Facebook and take some time to look at the messaging, because you only get that opportunity once, when people scrolling on their newsfeed. Also, if someone were to take action, or if you want them to take the next step, why should they do it? Make sure your ad copy talks about it. Okay, so your ad copy needs to have all the information, like price, promotion, what are they getting in return, so this one in particular was all products online and qualifying stores. You buy one, you get 33% off. You buy three, you get 50% off. Very straight to the point. And what's the next call to action? They offer you saying, okay, shop now. So that means you can go buy now. Okay, very, very easy. Something very similar over here. They talk about what this particular ad is about and what's the next action they want you to take, which is, again, shop now, and takes you to the right URL and website. So this is very smart and well done by Adidas. Make sure in your ad copy and creative, these are also communicated. Okay. Now, this is something new and very, very popular nowadays. Influencer marketing, big brands can easily do it because they have that resources, but a lot of smaller brands are also trying to do this. I just want to give you an example because if influencer marketing done well, it works really well. So what is influencer marketing? It's basically utilizing key opinion leaders. They are called KOLs to drive brand awareness about your product or services. Okay, and why does it work is there's a very strong affinity between the influencer and their audience. The influencer's followers really follow the influencer because of some core belief or some core connection. So whatever the influencer might believe in and share with their audience, the audience is really they believe them and they are ready to take action. So they influence purchase decision and also drive conversions. In these cases, you see there's an example of Timo Werner and Serge Gnabry by Adidas. So they're working. These are Adidas footballers. They're branded Adidas footballers, and time and again they will put photos with the Adidas brand promoting the products, the club's jersey or the country's jersey, and it turns out and works out really well because if their favorite athlete is always wearing or promoting a certain brand, then they are very, very highly likely, they have that affinity to be like the influencer, like, because um, they really relate to the influencer. That's why they can take the influencers can have them make decisions and drive conversions easily. Okay, so it it works really well. If you use influencer marketing, it works really well if the influencer has a very high engagement rate. Again, the influencer and the brand need to match each other's style. Like in this case, these guys are footballers, and Adidas is a sports apparel brand, so they go very well. And it's also sponsoring the clubs that or club and the country jersey the players represent. So it works really, really well in this case. All right, so all right, moving on. Now you've seen the four strategies: the pull strategies, the push strategies, SEO, SEM, got Facebook ad, and then influencer marketing. Right? Those are very, very possible channels, strategies that you implement. But a lot of the businesses don't even try to learn or implement remarketing, and they've never heard about it because this is the most underutilized, the most not talked about, but one of the most effective type of digital marketing strategy. What is remarketing? Is basically, let's say you already have a website, you already have a Facebook page, and you have visitors going. With remarketing, you can show your brand's messaging, ads, or whatever message you want to people who already show interest in your brand or product. Okay, so how does it work? Is basically there is a script. It's a remarketing or retargeting script. For Facebook, it's called Facebook Pixel. For Google, there is a remarketing tag, or sometimes even Google Analytics data can be used to create an audience to remarket. So basically what happens, someone who's read about your brand or service or product goes to your website or Facebook page, and then you can retarget those type of visitors because you have the script. You can catch their cookies, you can remarket them and show them specific promotions or specific product and services on sale that you have going on. Okay, and I'll show you, even Adidas does it, and we've seen the ad recently. I'll show you how it works, but let me talk a little bit more. So how does it work really well? It's very re-engaging visitors. It takes them back. The customer, you remember the journey. So if they're on a journey and they might go to another website or products or services, they might be reading a blog, and you can have your advertisement show on third-party sites that enable showing your ads. So you bring them back to the journey of purchasing your product or services. Also, it's very cheap, and then again, you are charged on the click when they click on the ad. Okay, so give you an example. So while doing this, while making the presentation for this slide, I was checking out a lot of Adidas products and services. I was on their website quite often. I was also looking for a project management tool on the side. So there's two different ads going on. Okay, so this is a website called Speed Test, where you normally go to check how fast your internet is. So this website makes money in a way by showing ads for websites that I have visited. So this website enables remarketing ads. Okay, so I was checking out this awesome project management tool called Star Infinity, and you see these are all ads of Star Infinity in different formats. So this is remarketing. It keeps on reminding me that, oh hey, you checked our website. If you're still interested, you should come learn more and maybe sign up as a free user. And they also have a promotion going on. So these messages are unique and different. Now the other ads I saw, so this one was Adidas ads in Facebook, since I was checking out their website with different products and services. So this is a carousel, product carousel remarketing ad that I got from Adidas. Okay, so that's how these brands who know how to do digital marketing uh, bring people back in the customer journey, so the journey is complete with the purchase by re-exposing us to their advertising. Okay, so usually again in remarketing it's image ads. What we do is we try to make the messaging again clear like normal ads with images, and then again it needs to be really relevant. If I visited a page on shoes, right, I should not be seeing ads about football or something like that. In this case, I was actually checking out the Yeezy shoes, so I see ads on cap and shoes and other related apparel. And in terms of Star Infinity, this is spot on, and they only have one product anyway, so that ad is about the product itself. Okay, so this is again one of the most underutilized strategy, and if you can implement this, you will immediately start seeing good results. All right, so we talked about the customer journey, the different strategies you have. Now, sorry, the different opportunities you can take or different activities you can do in terms of digital marketing. Now I want to show in a bigger picture why a strategy is very important, because you might just say, oh, I want to do SEO, I want to do SEM, I want to do social media, I only want to do Instagram ads or whatever. But in a bigger picture of things, what matters, so you as a brand and a business product service provider need to really understand your customers. You try to understand if they're on a journey to purchase a product or service similar to yours or what you're offering, what steps do they go through. So you try to understand what steps they go through, and then you come back, analyze, and see, okay, what exact activities can I do to capture your user's attention in each of those steps of the journey, right? So in awareness part, if you do SEO, your brand gets the first awareness. If you're running interest-based social media campaigns, then your potential customer knows about your brand or services. The other things you could do is, if you want to influence the consideration part, what do? You work on remarketing, or you write about contents on reviews, like why is this product better than the other product, or why is your product better than the other product. Sometimes even having infographics or YouTube videos on how to use a certain product, or why the Adidas Yeezy shoes are really good. If you talk about those things, then it helps your customers understand more about the product and moves them throughout the funnel. We call this the sales funnel, right? Awareness, consideration, purchase. So you can take different activities for different parts of the funnel, eventually leading to a purchase. Okay, so this is why your strategy is important, because if you track the funnel, the customer's journey, and you think of where you can come in as a business, then that strategy will help you plan and trace the customer journey better and finalize the purchase. That is why strategy is super important, because some businesses will think, oh hey, I can do Facebook ad, it's gonna work. No, you gotta look at it from a bigger perspective, from an overall perspective. And there's a lot of how do you say, there's a lot of noise in digital marketing sphere, where a lot of influencers and marketers are talking about only one type of activity you can do. Like some of the people who sell SEO courses will say, oh, just do SEO. Some of the people who sell Facebook courses will say, oh, I made so much money with Facebook, you should do it as well. But you as a brand or product or service provider should actually look from a 360 perspective, from an overall higher perspective, and see what works for you and what doesn't work for you. But the overall message is simple. You track the customer journey and you put yourself in their shoes, and then try to be available in each part of their journey. Okay. Now moving on, we've saw different activities in digital marketing. You looked at the importance of strategy. Why are companies, people, brands investing in digital marketing today? I just want to give you a few examples, because it's really, really penetrable, meaning almost everyone uses Google, right? So they spend a lot of time in social media, so you can really reach out to those people. Again, it's not as expensive as you think. If your overall digital marketing funnel and your model is really good, it is very, very cheap even now. And again, you can really hyper target the people you want to reach out to. You can say, I want to reach out to X compared to Y. You don't want to, you can really target it, and you can make it really personalized. Like in terms of Adidas, you saw the ads they were remarketing was about shoes, because I looked at shoes. so it can be really personalized. Again, it's really measurable, it's real-time measurable. You get the data in terms of right now, you know what happened in 1 day period. You don't need to wait for someone else to generate a report for you. These are all real-time online, and they're very scalable, meaning if today you want to spend $100, that's fine. Tomorrow, if you have more money, 500, you can reach out to more people, you know. And again, flexible, meaning like previously, if your TVC campaign, you had to make a TVC creative once, and if it's already launched air and something didn't go, you couldn't change it because everything was already planned well in advance. But now you can launch a campaign, and if you think the ad copy has some error or it doesn't work out, you can always change it. Easy, very easy. And most importantly, it's very profitable. If it's cheap, it's affordable. If it reaches a lot of people, it's highly profitable, and depending on your products and services, it's very, very profitable. Okay, so moving on, what's next for you as a business, brand, or marketer? What can you do next to capitalize on all the different digital marketing strategies or learn more? I'd normally recommend, you've seen I'll put the link of this slide in the video as well, but you can make an audit of your product and service and see what is your customer journey look like, and try to see which touch points does your brand engage with your customer, and try to make that number of touch points more or engaging. Try to get in front of the customer when they are actually searching or looking for you. Okay, so yeah, that was these two, and then you create your own strategy, make sure it makes sense, and also set aside some budget to test and implement different things. Okay, and a lot of things in digital marketing is tweaking and testing things if it works or not. So that reiteration cycle of creating, testing, analyzing, and again going back, making changes, and then testing again. So keep on optimizing and reiterating. Okay, next. So normally, this is a very common question. Normally, how much budget should I allocate in terms of my marketing spending, right? This is a ballpark figure. It's not a should do or this is what you have to follow figure. It's just a normal figure that a lot of the people in the state side do it. I got this data from one of the researchers. Again, it depends by business, but if you're looking to start, I think around 25% of your revenue, if 25% of your revenue is your marketing budget, then you need to spend around 6 to 8% of the revenue. Sorry. If your revenue is 6 to 8%, then you have to spend around 25%. So if you're making $1 million annually and your marketing budget is 60,000, then your digital marketing budget should be around 15,000. So this is pretty minimum for a revenue of $1 million, and it's a good amount to start testing the market and see what works or what doesn't work. And then if you're a marketer or student, you can actually learn about the self-serving advertising platform for Google, Facebook. There's a lot of courses on Udemy. There's a lot of YouTube videos, so you can take next. Also, what you can do is if you already have a competitor doing advertising, you can check what sort of activities they do, what type of creatives they do, what type of messaging do they put in their ads. So you have these options, yeah. So with this, I hope you get an idea in general about what is digital marketing in terms of today's world, why it is super important to understand your customer journey, and the importance of strategy. Like again, to re-emphasize and to reiterate, there's a lot of noise in the digital marketing sphere, in YouTube, in other channels, saying you should do one type of activity, it works really well. It actually, a lot of these things depend on your business, your products, your services. So I always recommend our customers and our team to have a wholesome approach. You look from the top, you try to understand what your customer is going through, and then you try to put your business and brand in front of them. Okay, so to move next, if you have any questions, make sure to put the questions in the comment. If you can subscribe the channel, even better. And then in the next videos, what type of videos would you like, what specific questions you have, please let me know. Then I can create content in that type of aspect, and I can hopefully help you answer more type of questions, more questions in digital marketing for you. Thank you for your time, and hope you had something to take away from the video.